There's
If
that.
I'm not sleeping, I'm working. If I'm not working, I'm streaming. If I'm not streaming, I'm eating or taking my wife out.
And
I
sometimes you do little nuggies on stream.
and sometimes I do little nuggies on stream because sometimes I'm like, well, I want to keep playing this game, but I also need sustenance. So sorry, chat.
All right, you guys, we are back. We're back. And unfortunately, we didn't have the Fate theme song, but it is mid-month episode with the Feel Good Guys. Feels Good. What did I say? What did I call it?
You said feels good, guys.
Feels Good Guys.
Yeah.
Literally 20 seconds ago, I said that.
FGG.
But this month we have a new edition, and we're missing one. We are missing Professor Panda. He has duties to take care of today. Duties. But we are joined by the one person that I was like, hey guys, we're going to have a fourth at some point, and I'm so excited he can make it this month. We have the one, the only. If you've been on my stream at all within the past 10 years, you know him. You might love him. It's Suraph. Hi, Suraph.
Hi. Thanks for noticing me.
And back by very popular demand, I demanded him to be here. It is Mr. Fate Walker. What's up, Fate Walker?
Hey, not much. Just hanging out, vibing, and ready to hear all about Surf.
I too am very interested in hearing about Suraph. I think I just took a swig of tea into the mic. Look,
Good.
There is very little that I am editing out of this. You guys know that. There's very little that I edit. There's very little that I keep out because, first off, I like that feel. I like the feel of it. Secondly, I'm lazy. So
No, that's fair. That's fair. You know what Panda would say.
That sounds amazing.
I forgot that you have a Panda soundboard.
So I'm just going to say right now, I have the Discord soundboard completely disabled, so I have no idea what you just played.
Good.
I saw the icon pop up, which is going to mean nothing to anybody else, but I heard nothing. So if you're playing those sounds randomly through this and
Just the one.
and Lem is reacting or something, I'm going to be like, what is going on? I don't know. Where are we? Who am I?
Oh, I love it. I love it. So, Panda made an appearance today, which is great. So, Suraph, tell us a little bit about you. You know, how did you become to be in the streaming sphere?
Yeah, that's a long story, so I'm going to cut to the easy part of the story, the part that's relevant to the people here. Way back in the day, there was this little title called Skylanders, which I liked quite a bit. And if you remember correctly, there was a Skylanders spin-off that Disney did called Disney Infinity. I'm sure nobody here has ever heard of it. Definitely not PG.
Yeah, nobody in
all.
our community has ever heard of Disney Infinity.
Nope. And so one year, I teamed up with a site called iHeart Infinity, and I ended up going to D23 that year. Met the Disney Infinity team, the Avalanche team, met a number of people from the community, became a part of the community at that point, did some stuff with Disney Infinity 2.0, did Disney Infinity 3.0, created content there. And in the process of doing that, we met the guys at Res TV, another name that is from a bygone era. And one of the people from Res TV, though, is right here, right now, Lemothy, over here. And at some point, I don't remember the exact circumstances, Lem and I got together for a co-stream on Disney Infinity. We played in the toy box, sorry. And we had some fun with that, and then we continued on. We're like, yeah, this works. Let's keep doing this. So
yeah.
we had a little comic show for a little while, and out of this, the Gametographers was born. I'm actually going to take credit for that too, because BG was like, I want to keep on streaming. What can I do? Like, well, you take a lot of photos. Why don't you do something based on photos? Because that was his big thing with Disney Infinity. Was he was taking photos, he was posting them on all the social medias, and like, take it to the next level. People need to see what photography is like, game photography is like, and everything went from there. I'll also add, we have met several times in real life.
Yep.
I have been out to his neck of the woods. We went to a comic convention. He came out to my neck of the woods for a comic convention. We met up there as well. I give him a lot of guff for that because he was taking pictures that would not fit on this podcast or his streaming site.
I was hired.
They weren't explicit. They weren't like mature, but they definitely would not fit with the vibe of this.
No.
And then also the biggest highlight, we watched in one of the most awkward nights of my life, the movie Get Out together, which was, if you've seen it, you understand. If you haven't, you should go see it and then you'll understand. But that was a bonding night.
Oh,
for
we
us.
both were so freaked out.
Oh yeah, that movie is scarring in my head, not just from the movie, but also watching it with you.
Yes.
Again, if you've seen the movie, you understand why. That is not a slight against BG or anything, but yeah, that is a core memory right there.
Absolutely. Fate, have you seen Get Out?
I don't think I have.
It's a Jordan Peele.
No, I
movie.
have not seen this.
Yeah.
You're saying I have to see this?
To understand that story, I would highly suggest it.
Okay.
Okay. It is, and you'll understand why we were both pretty freaked out. We were freaked out for different reasons, but we were both freaked out.
Okay. I will put that on my backlog list of things I need to see at some point.
Yes.
When I have time.
When you do, 10 years from now, when you do, you're like,
Yep.
oh!
Oh yeah, from that one podcast.
I'm gonna suggest, if you do, or anyone listening to this does at some point watch Get Out, go into it blind. Don't look up. Look up the basic story, but go into it blind. It is much better as an experience, not knowing anything that's going to be coming your way, because it is a trip.
Yes, I saw it, and I rethunk my entire life.
Oh boy. Oh, it's one of those type of movies.
Yeah, my entire
Oh, no.
life, bro.
I don't know if I need a rethunk of my life.
No, I think that you won't rethink your life. You might rethink others' lives, but I don't think you'll rethink your life. I think you'll be okay.
Okay.
There are certain circumstances in my life that have happened that I'm like, oh. Yeah, absolutely. So, I guess we'll start with you, Fate. What are you playing? What are you up to? What you been doing?
Dealing with a gauntlet of games that released last week on me.
Oh.
That's what I'm dealing with. So I'm still like super heavy into Once Human, doing a lot of the Once Human stuff. And then we had PoE release, we had Marvel Rivals release, and I had a lot of people back when I used to play like hugely into Marvel Avengers. A lot of my Marvel Avengers community jumped into Marvel Rivals. The problem with that game is it's like Overwatch, and that I don't pay attention to chat enough, so a lot of times I've stopped streaming Marvel Rivals.
Yeah.
I will play it with other friends, and the only other time I will probably stream it is if I'm like co-streaming with somebody.
Yes.
But even then, I don't pay attention to chat. And PoE's kind of sort of. I'm trying to break. So I also have a problem with action RPGs where I hyper focus on the game and I'm not interacting enough. Because a lot of the things that I like to do is I like to interact with everybody, and when people come in and ask me questions about the game, I want to be able to like within the first 20 seconds answer that question or try to get to answering that question. And a lot of times I get too involved in my action RPG stuff and my rotations and making sure I've got things down that I don't quite have that time. It doesn't have those leisurely stops for me to be able to do the conversation. And then out of the blue, Infinity Nikki release.
Oh my gosh.
That is such an adorably cute game.
It is.
I haven't put any time that I should be putting into it. Like whatever it's called that is resin in the game.
Yeah.
What you call resin. I haven't even gotten to where you spin that. I've not been there yet. I've just been running around catching bugs, changing outfits, getting my wishes, doing my wishing anime. The wish animation in that game's really good.
So
too.
good.
I really enjoy the wish animation. But and
Can I just say that
Yep.
Infinity Nikki
Mm-hmm.
took the Wuthering Waves spots out of the rotation.
Oh no.
Now
That's fair. You very much enjoy your very comfy games, right? Like
yeah.
you're like Disney Infinity, Disney Dreamlight Valley
Yes.
is like a huge core game for you. So it makes sense that Disney Infinity
Nikki.
Infinity
Infinity Nikki.
there's Infinity, there's Disney, there's Nikki somewhere in there. I don't know. Would take over. I would, but I mean, you've got a little bit of a woo-wah break anyways until like January 2nd, where woo-wah 2.0 drops, and then maybe the story will pick up there. But that game is super cozy, and I think because you're into gametography, I don't know how much you've gone into starting. Like they've gamified unlocking the filters in with the camera,
Yes.
and different aspects of the gametography side of things. So I have a feeling like you're probably itching to like get all the camera features unlocked so you can go out and take all those really crazy pictures that you want to take with Infinity Nikki. And the community around Infinity Nikki is amazing too. It's not toxic. Like I don't know how you can be toxic in that game. I don't think it's possible. Which is
I don't
huge
know.
to say. Yeah.
I know someone will at some point find a way, but I'm hoping that the community will kick them out when they do.
The community is just so accepting, and so when you pop, it's hard to not smile. You could have a bad day, and if you pop open that game and that entrance music is just all like, yeah, it's so good. It's poppy. It makes you smile a little bit, and you're ready to go take on your adventure. Float around, pet those corgis, get those little corgi butt hair things.
They come out, they give us a little booty.
So cute. I know, it's so stupidly cute. I can't believe it's so cute, and it's interesting because a lot of like guys who are like hugely into like the other gotcha stuff have played this game and like we love this game, and it just hits this note of just casual. It's like Palia. I loved Palia too. Like it's on that line of it's the gotcha version. It's Palia in gotcha form essentially, but cuter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. I very much enjoyed it as a relaxing, let me go and just vibe game.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
That that all hit last week. Like that's all last week.
Wow.
And, yeah. And once human like phase dropped on Friday, everything dropped on Friday. It was it's out of control. It really is out of control.
Suraph, what are you playing?
So I'm a longtime Final Fantasy 14 player. Been playing for about 4 years. That's my primary game. Now, unlike these two, I don't stream very often, and I don't stream Final Fantasy, but that is my big one. I was gonna say this anyway, despite the glowing reviews that you just got, but I've been planning to try Infinite Nikki Infinite, whatever the hell it's called, Infinite Disney plus Dream Valley Nikki version. I wanted to try that. I'm planning to try that soon. I had a really busy weekend this past several days, so I didn't get a chance to jump into that. I've seen you stream it. I've seen a couple of other members of the BG community stream it, including Fate Walker. But I haven't had a chance to experience myself, and I do like those cozy games, so I'm into that. And then my gotcha game, of course, since we were talking about Wuthering Waves and such earlier, is Honkai Star Rail. That is my go-to. I'm very much keeping an eye on the next set of banners, both the banner for Fugue and the banner for the Herta, coming out in I think in January. So I'm enjoying that game quite a bit. I grew up on the turn-based RPGs and Final Fantasies 1 through 6, Dragon Quest, we called it Dragon Warrior back in the day, those kind of games. I grew up on them. Star Rail is the one that catches the itch. I tried Wuthering Waves, I tried Genshin, Zenless Zone Zero, all those. For me, they didn't quite hit as well.
Yeah.
And Star Rail was the one that kept through, and I'm still playing that once per day, getting my pulls, doing my daily tasks to make sure that I've got the pulls for when the Herta and Fugue drop.
Nice. I played the heck out of Honkai Star Rail for a while, but the story lost me when they went to
Panaconi.
Panaconi.
Yeah, the story it fell off well before.
Oh, really?
After Belobog, like Belobog was like I wanted another Belobog after Belobog. I
Okay.
wanted something else that was super intense, brought me into a story, brought me to a major conflict. Like the way the music synced up with the last boss battle.
Oh, that was
freaking
so
amazing,
good.
right?
Yes.
And then when we went to the Loafu,
Yeah,
right?
Lofu. Yeah.
That's like everything just it felt I don't know. It didn't feel. I felt like I was doing a lot of things that didn't matter with the Stellaron that was on the location. Right? There were
Right.
I would agree.
moments. There were really great moments, but like I felt like there was a lot. It was almost like watching an anime, and then this was like you're gonna have a really good beginning and a really good end, and there's a lot of filler, a ton of filler, and that
100%.
burnt me
Okay,
out.
I can-
And then
I can see
Pinacone
that.
did the same thing too, right? Pinacone had a lot of little bits of like I want to know more about what's going on with the Stellaron here, what the heck Aventurn's doing. Like I wanted to know more of that, but then I had to go like down this hallway and help these clocks do these things, and but Clocky was like yeah, it's just so and then when they like went back to the Loafu, right? Like after Pinacone, I was like I can't go back there.
Yeah.
I just can't. So I just dropped it.
It was.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
enjoyed the second stint on the LeFou better than the first stint.
You're talking about the jailbreak?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. The jailbreak was a much better story. And then the more recent story, the one we just had, which is still in Penacony, but is much better, is the story with Fugue. That one was really good. But the one that came before Fugue, the one with the banana Nana, I don't know if either of you ever played that.
I
one,
haven't
'cause you might have
played that
stopped
yet.
Before you got. Oh my God, that tested my patience so much. I hated that entire storyline, and it went on forever. I was almost at the point of dropping Star Rail with the banana Nana story. It was so bad. The current one with Fugue is better, but
The two things that stood out with Pinacone, which I liked, was the Firefly stuff and then
Yes.
the Watchmaker. I love those two things.
Oh yeah.
agreed.
And the other two things, I was just, any of the other stuff, I was like,
Yeah.
A little bit of the Robin story was Sunday Robin story was like okay, and then like watching Gallagher do his thing, that was like I was like, oh okay, like I'm into this, and then it just kind of sort of fell off for me. And then Wuwa picked up, and I just enjoyed the action RPG side of that a whole lot more.
I think,
Yeah.
especially with Penacony, it got a little too involved with itself, where it got too like, oh, I'm telling some masterpiece storytelling, and it's like, no, it's literally just a dream sequence, and none of this has any real world impact, even within the Honkai Star Rail real world. Because that first section, when the first section dropped, and it ends with like Robin dead in a tub and well, we don't know it's Firefly yet, but Sam blown up, and you're like, where's it going to go from here? It's like, oh yeah, it's a dream sequence. They're still fine. They're right over there. Like, really? Okay.
Yeah. I did jump back into Star Rail for a hot minute because they were like, hey, come on back, we got lots of stuff for you, and I was like, okay, I'll come back and I'll get the stuff and we'll see where it goes from there. I did get 3 characters and 2 that I was looking for. I did get Welt, who I hear is an amazing character. I need to learn him.
I'd really like to know more story about him. I really wish they'd go into more story with him.
Well, have you played Honkai Impact 3rd at all?
No.
Okay. That he's part of that universe as well. That's all I'm going to say. But
Okay.
I started Honkai Impact 3rd at the same time I was doing all the other gotchas, and something had to go, and that one I had to read subtitles, and it was a bit much.
Yeah.
So,
And then another thing, Honkai Star Rail pulled out the Everflame Mansion people. Like
yeah.
they,
I
like,
was
pumped-
excited for those,
and
bro.
they were just like a side note, man.
They
Man,
were
I really
supposed-
wanted to know. I know.
Oh.
I know. Why? And they just wrote them. They're just like those guys. They
died.
What's their name? Killed them. Killed them all. Just
Excuse me.
yeah. Oh man, I really wanted to. I wanted to do a whole story arc with them.
Yeah, that would have been so good. Then I got
Yeah.
what's his name here? Arlen. Have you guys played Arlen?
Arlen, yeah, a little bit. I played him back like when the game first came out because he's an original pull.
He's one of those guys that hurts himself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't play
Yes.
those. I will end up dying.
He looks really cool, and I love Peppy, but man, I really wish he was a little bit better
Yeah.
on with what he did. But I've got like if I ever go back, I've got the team that I've got my main team
Yeah.
with my Nihility team, and I unless they do something where they get crazy power grip, that team tends to because I've got Silver Wolf.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's one I don't have.
Yeah.
Kafka.
I don't have Kafka either.
And Fushuan, and
Do I have Fushuan? I don't think I have Fushuan.
Who's the other one that I have? Man, that's how long it's been. That's how long it's been since I've played.
I love the Nihility teams. They're so much fun to play.
Yeah.
I like the follow-ups, which is why
You do like your follow-up teams.
Yeah.
You really like your follow-up teams. Yeah.
which is why I was so excited. I got Mose. I was like, yes. He's a hunt follow-up, but I put him on a team with Adventurine, Robin, and who's our new Fox lady?
Are you talking about Linkshaw or
She's the
Feishwa?
maybe Feishwa. She's the general.
Yeah, Feishwa.
Yeah.
I might be mispronouncing that.
Yeah, but yeah. So I put him on a team with her, and he's only like a level 60 or something like that. And the rest are 80, and they're tearing it up. They are tearing it up. So
Black Swan's the other one on my team.
yeah.
I like any teams that the reason why I like Silverwolf so much. I like any teams where I can play it no matter what.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
I can just make it whatever element I want it to make it, and then just run with it.
Yeah.
Love those teams. I also have that full quantum team with Qingxia being like the main DPS of that team. Love that team too.
They have been working towards more characters that kind of ignore the elemental. Like I think Firefly can do weakness break to anything, and it sounds like some of the upcoming characters either do something similar to Silverwolf or just like, yeah, it doesn't matter. You do weakness break. So
I fell off at Super Break. Like when they brought out
yeah,
not just Break but Super Break, I was like, I'm done.
Yeah, that was
the reverse power creep is a little much.
that's what's her face? That's that's Stella, right?
Well,
Stell?
she's part of that group. Stell, the main character, Stell, Trash Blazer.
Yeah.
But also
Gallagher.
Ruan May.
Ron
helps with
May.
that, I think. Yeah.
Ron May helps with literally everything.
I might come back and screw them when they really screw them,
Oh, that'd be cool.
depending on what they do with him. Yeah.
That's nice. That's nice.
And we know Lim's gonna go back to Wua once Lumi gets released.
Look, I thought she was coming out this week.
I did too, dude. The last 2 banners, I've been like, "This is the banner," and then it's not the banner. And you're like, "Why is Lumi not out?" I was like, "I don't know. I don't know what's going on."
I will play. I'm continuing to play them. I might not stream them, but I am continuing to play them.
Yeah.
Because Lumi's adorable.
She is very adorable.
She's so adorable. But games I'm playing, you guys have mentioned a lot of them already. Disney Dreamlight Valley has taken over my life. Absolutely did not ever expect to be a cozy community farmer city builder, whatever it's called, whatever those games are called. Those cozy, that was not going to be me, bro. That was like, if you look back at what I played when I first started streaming, you would have never thought. I was the Overwatch, the Halo, the Gears of War, all the heavy, just deep beat 'em ups and shoot 'em ups. And now I'm building a beach house with Mickey Mouse. And loving it. Loving every freaking minute of it. And then what else am I playing? Infinity Nikki. That is on the train. I am continuing with Guild Wars. I think Guild Wars might be my grittiest game right now, which isn't saying much.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not very gritty,
No.
relatively speaking.
Yeah. It's my grittiest game. Um I am playing offline. I am playing Lego Horizons. I'll get
I want to play that. Yeah.
yeah, I'll get a mission in a day for that one. Like I'm taking my time with it. As I get to it, I play it. What else am I playing? I have a whole list of what I am playing next year. But
Oh, do you?
yeah,
I don't have a big list. I did my homework, but I don't have a big list.
I definitely have it. Sir,
Although,
do you have any games that you wanted to get to this year that you haven't, or that you haven't fully? And I'm going to let you guys talk while I go grab my list.
yeah. So
Wow.
the main thing is like I feel like I've fallen into the MMO gotcha trap of games that don't end. You know, I mentioned Final Fantasy 14. I mentioned Honkai Star Rail. I'm assuming Infinite Nikki is the same one where there'll be constant updates throughout times and the game will never finish. And I really just want to go back to playing some games that I can put down. I can finish them and be like, I finished this game. So the one game I didn't mention it because I'm like only playing it intermittently, but Dragon Quest 3 2.5 HD remake, whatever the name of it is. It's a Kingdom Hearts name. Um, but again, I mentioned I grew up with the Final Fantasies, the Dragon Warriors, as it was called in America release. So Dragon Quest 3 was my let's call it the gateway drug into turn-based RPGs. It was
Okay.
the game I played on the original Nintendo. So this game, playing the HD remake, has been so much fun. But I'm only playing it like once or twice a week, and I'd really like to finish it before the end of the year.
Hmm.
Okay. Games that I didn't get to this year. I've got a bunch of games that I wish I could go back to that I just can't fit back in. But Black Myth Wukong, didn't get a chance to play that. I wish I could get back into Helldivers 2. I've heard it's made a turnaround. I wish I could get back into Skull and Bones because I definitely cozied up to that game. That was a very cozy just ship game for me
Yeah.
for a while. Trying to think.
I met you over New World. How have you even considered New World again?
I jumped back into it during when they did that whole last like little release that they just did. I didn't want to. I'm one of those people that if I put a bunch of time into grinding it and I lose all that time, it's hard for me to go back into it. Anytime I do something in a game and I lose a whole bunch of that game, and there's nothing that shows that I've done the things or have the thing, I tend to drop it. Final Fantasy 14, huge. I was gonna jump back into it, and we had forgot to. My wife got a house. I gave her a bunch of Christmas presents. We probably dropped about $700 over like 2 years in the game, and we let our accounts expire. And we're like, oh, we'll just come back, give it a couple more expansions and just come back. And then when we came back, the house was sold and the $700
What?
worth of items were gone. Right, because if you don't collect it, if you don't shut down your house and pick everything up, they just erase it. So
What?
it's all gone. All the
This is
Christmas
true.
presents.
Yes.
Yep. So it's all gone, and I've lost my will to go back and play, even though it probably is a really great game. But like it's a bummer,
That's. Are
Oh,
you kidding me?
No, it's what they like. It's what they do.
Oh my.
It's
Goodness. Oh.
it's a serious problem that doesn't have a good answer because housing is one of the most sought after things in Final Fantasy, and there's this the community's like, well, this person owns this house, but they haven't logged in 8 years. So let someone else buy the house, kind of thing.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
but if you want to return and your house is gone and all the things are gone, that's the other side of the coin.
Ugh.
And, yeah. So, yeah, that's we were because Professor Panda's back into it, and we were getting really hyped into it, and when we got logged back on, that just kind of sort of took the wind out from our sails. It was
Yeah.
a bit of a bummer. No, I think those like Black Myth Wukong. I really wish I put more time into Elden Ring. And the Indiana Jones game is actually looking really good that I'm never gonna have time to play.
Yeah.
So Grand Blue Fantasy Relink also, and Metaphor. I think I would have enjoyed those games. Yeah.
There's so many games.
Metaphor
for
is
you.
another one.
Yep.
Metaphor is definitely on me. I want to play this, but I need to get through my backlog first. Games.
Oh, I forgot that I did start, and this was for Suraph actually, for his Extra Life redemption. I did start and have been enjoying what I played of it. Nino Kuni 2. Nino Kuni, sorry.
The first one.
Yeah, the first one. The remastered version. And really enjoying it. And then Infinity Nikki came out.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
You're welcome. You're welcome. Because that wasn't on his radar until I was like, "Hey, you need." To
It
play
was
this game.
1000% not on my radar.
I was like, "You need to try it." And he was like, "Should I replace Wuwa with it?" And I was like in the back of my mind, I was like, "No, don't do that." But I was like, "Yeah, you probably should." Like you would. Like I think you'd like it better because it just gave me that Disney Infinity vibe.
Yeah.
Or Disney Dreamlight Valley vibe. Oh my god.
Well, no, here's the thing. Disney Infinity, I firmly believe that parts of Disney Infinity
Mm-hmm.
were taken by Gameloft and they put it in Disney Dreamlight Valley and in Disney Speedstorm. Like, even if it's just concepts of it. Like, in Disney Infinity 3.0, I believe, you could farm. You could own a farm and, like, have little workers that went out and worked the farm. And you would earn these little these crops that you could use to grow your minions and get their stats up. So when you went into the little PVE mode, like the little dungeon crawler PVE mode, your little minions were stronger to help. They 1000% took some of that, and the kart racing, yeah, 1000%. So, but yeah, there's that. There are games on my list that
Okay, yep. What's coming out that you got to play?
oh, it's not even coming out. It's just stuff that I own.
Oh. Oh, no. Oh. Okay. Okay. Go with what you own that you still need to get to.
Asterigos.
Oh no.
Oh no! Why do you say oh no?
Man, I wanted that. Like it had some moments where it was like really good, and then the story.
Yeah.
It's on my thing. But I never beat it. It never kept me. I played a good little bit of it. I probably put a good 10 to 15 hours into it, and then I just kind of sort of like I liked some of their mechanics, but like some things just didn't feel fleshed out. Like the iframes and the I feel like something with the controllers and the way things attacked and
I can feel
just
that.
slightly off.
Yeah, I can feel that already. I went in
Okay.
expecting it to not be a AAA. I went in expecting
Right.
it to be worth the $1.50 I probably paid for it in a humble bundle.
Fair.
And I am getting more than my $1.50 out of it. I've already started it, so I thought I'm enjoying it. I'm going to put it on stream.
Yeah. I think it definitely has potential, and maybe if I played a little bit more time into it, I would have really enjoyed it. But 15 hours and I couldn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe watching you, maybe it'll get me back into playing it.
Well, we will see. That's coming up in January. Actually, it's coming up in a couple weeks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because that's a couple weeks of January. Yeah. Yeah.
Don't spread your filthy lies.
Speaking of which, everybody who's listening, happy holidays and happy New Year.
Yeah, this should be coming out. Well, we're already at the middle of the month. Hopefully late. I don't know. Hey, when you hear it, happy whatever holiday it is. So if you're listening in July and you're in the States,
Happy Bastille Day.
happy Bastille Day. Wait, what?
July 14th, man.
July 14th.
And if you're hearing this in July, just 6 more months for Christmas. You know, you're right there.
Yeah.
It's like gonna be before you know it. Mariah Carey is gonna defrost from the carcass burnings of the turkeys, and you're gonna hear her sing again.
Have you guys heard the Toad version of that song?
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna forget I heard you even mention that.
No, you have to hear it. It is terrible, but great.
I don't know what we're talking about. I purged the last 30 seconds from my brain. I'm not gonna listen to this podcast. I don't know what we're talking about.
So I sent it. So our friend Cozy Valkyrie was streaming, and she wanted to put on some Christmas music, and she put on Mariah's version. And I was like, you need to listen to the Toad version. She was like, I'm gonna hate it. I'm gonna hate it, but I'm gonna do it because you asked. And she's like, I hate it. I hate it. But I'm gonna keep listening. I hate it. And it is so terrible that you're sitting there laughing and you forget to turn it off because it's that bad.
Oh no.
And then the same day I sent it to my cousin's chat. I don't know if you guys have a cousin's chat, but my cousin's chat is unhinged. We have cousins that live all around the country, and a lot of us never get to see each other. So we send memes, we send love, I've been doing voice messages because I miss hearing their voices, and I sent it over, and I sent them with the message, today I choose chaos. And they listened to it. They're like, oh my God. So listeners, if you have not heard the Toad Sings Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You. If you have not heard it, you need to listen to it. Just go ahead. Maybe I'll remember to put a link in the show notes. Maybe. Probably not.
Is it safe for me to unmute you all now?
Yeah. Okay. I'll try not to tangent you off of like the next, list of games because we only got to one of these games. All right, Asterigos.
Okay,
next.
Asterigos. Disney Universe. Old game. Never finished it. Want to finish it.
That was a good one.
Yeah, it's the one where you visit all these different universes and you get to wear suits based on the characters and get certain powers based on the characters. And I am 100% wanted to do that one. This one was.
Sorry. Do you realize how many Disney games you just described in that little blurb? You narrowed it down by like 2 games. I mean, that's Kingdom Hearts.
But this one is specifically Disney.
I think this also describes like half their mobile games, because they're all like gacha games where you're going to multiple universes and stuff.
This is true.
All right, sorry, the side tangent there, but I just want to, for anyone, Disney, it's on Steam. Look it up. It's an old one.
Yeah. This one is one that was suggested by Panda. Another Crab's Treasure.
Is that the one where you run around as a crab with guns?
I think that's a different. I don't know. This one was when we were talking about Souls games before. Yeah, he had mentioned it to me a while back because he was playing it on stream, and he said if you are apprehensive about doing Souls games, consider this one. Unruly Heroes is another one.
I'm not familiar with that one.
Tonche, Hob, Hi-Fi Rush. There's just I have a like
Hi-Fi Rush, yeah.
And
I like games that incorporate music. I do like where like music is an essential role in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No Straight Roads was good. I enjoyed that one. I played that this year. Finished that this year. It was really good, and it involved. Music. But I guess we're talking about all this. The big question I think is, do you do gaming resolutions or stream resolutions? Do you or like gaming goals or whatever?
Not seriously. Like I'm not, like if I don't play 12 games next year, I have to punish myself or something like that. But I do it for the fun of it. Like I'd like to finish some of the games off this list or whatever, but I don't know if you'd even call it a resolution, to be honest. It's just like, but the year marks like a good ending point, good starting point,
Yeah.
right? To track your progress. But yeah, like I said, I don't even know if it's a resolution, to be honest.
I think I do quarter to quarter than year thing. Like
Ooh.
I go, okay, what's coming up to the next quarter that I have to play,
Ooh.
that I've got to make sure that I touch. I tend to do a quarter to quarter thing. Um, so like I kind of sort of know what's on my next quarter's docket of games that I've got coming up that I've got to figure out how to squeeze it in. But I don't. None of my resolutions are beat this game. Because it'll never happen.
Because you already know. You already know.
Like I think the last game I played and beat, maybe the original Elden Ring. Maybe that I beat. That's not a live service.
Yeah.
So actually, let me kind of branch off of that too, because like we were talking about games where that don't have endings, the gotcha games,
Right.
the MMOs and stuff like that. So one thing I do keep track of is like let's for Star Rail, just because that's one we're all familiar with. Like when the new patches come out, when 2.8 comes out, there's a new story. I kind of say, all right, 2.7 is done. I count that as finished, and I move on to 2.8, and then on to 3.0 or whatever. You can do it with Wuwa when it gets to 2.0. And that's kind of one way that I track these things. And if
Okay.
it's a game that I'm continuing, then I'll do it. But also like when I got to the end of the Banana Nana story, I was like, this might be a good jumping off point where I can just go away. So that's kind of like one thing that you can kind of do, because all of us have our gotcha games. So I think that's part of it.
I try to get everything story related to a new release on a gotcha game done in a week, streamed and
That,
done in a week.
that seems fair.
Oh, okay.
Everything event wise, I don't tend to stream events that much. I try to do character stories if I can stream it, and then the main storyline if I can stream it, and then everything else just tends to be offline, and that all tends to get done within a week, because I have to get it done in a week, and if I don't, some other game. So, Wuwa releases. Wuwa's got 1 month because there's nothing else in January when Wuwa 2.0 releases January 2nd. There's nothing else, but I've got like the next 2 days off of that release date to do Wuwa 2.0 and get through the story. But I really don't have anything else because the next month, we've got the Sid Meier Civ 6, we've got Monster Hunter Wilds. I think Dynasty Warriors Origins is slated for February.
I used to love me some Dynasty Warriors.
Oh, dude, when they made that announcement, I was like, "Oh my god, unlocked memory! I need to play this." And then at some point, the Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra is on my list. That's going to be released at some point.
Oh,
and
no.
I
once
forgot
it's
about
gonna-
that one.
I didn't know about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's the Captain America, Black Panther, one, and then we know that the Wolverine one's somewhere out there too. I
Yeah.
don't think it's going to come out in 2025, but Captain America should be coming out
Oh,
in this
it's
upcoming
Cap and
year.
T'Chaka, right?
And two other. I think Bucky's in there. Yeah. Marvel 1943.
Because I used to love me some Avengers, man. Like, that was my game. Here's the thing. I loved that game so much that I played the story near 3 times. Because one of my saves got lost. It just disappeared. And I was like, oh, well, looks like I got to start all over. Right? Where
Yeah,
most people
yeah.
would have been like, oh, I'm never playing this game again. No, I was like, I get to hang out with Kamala Khan again? Let's go.
I played that story. The story was so good. The single player story was worth the value of that game.
Yes.
The multiplayer was such a huge letdown that it overshadowed the single player story, which was such an incredibly well done story. I mean, freaking all the little intel files. We listened to all those. I was huge in the Marvel Avengers. I still talk to some of the developers that were on that team.
Yeah.
The gentleman that was working on the gear design stuff, like I was picking his brain for it. He was throwing ideas at me, and I was like, this sounds great. What if we do this? And yeah, I was world's first raid
Oh,
completion.
nice.
When the, the horribly buggy raid, like, and we had a lot of people were like, we're all neck and neck, and we're probably weren't gonna get, but people were crashing left and right, and when you crashed in the raid, you had to start over from the beginning.
Oh.
I think we had one crash, but it was early enough that we made it through things, and
Oh, that's
yeah,
great.
no, I will probably sometime next year probably play through the campaign again.
Oh, that's a good watch. Did I tell you that I got a thank you card from oh good lord, now I can't remember her name because I'm old. But the lady that did the voice of Kamala.
I
Dan,
never heard this. No.
No, yeah, I got a thank you card for being supportive of in the game sphere, because a bunch of us were doing, you can't see it behind there, but a bunch of us were doing photos in the game and just putting them out there, and Kamala was one of my favorite ones to do photographs of. And
Sandra Sod.
yeah,
right?
Sandra Assad, that's it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And she was so sweet. Her people got a hold of me and said, "Hey, Sandra wants to send you something. Can we get an address?" And so I gave her the address, and she ended up sending me a thank you card and a signed Kamala Khan trading card.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's how
awesome.
good that community was. That community of developers that did all that. They were so thankful for people that were, supportive.
You remember the comic that Kamala wrote for the Avengers in the game?
Yeah.
The sewer. You know they made that a limited release comic book, right?
Did they really?
Yeah, I have it.
Mhm. That's true.
What?
Yeah. It was only released at the New York Comic Con. That was the only place to get it. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
And the whole comic is actually plastered on some of the walls in the game.
Oh,
The
wow.
whole comic is there. You can go read the comic. It's there. But the actual comic looks exactly like those pictures on the wall. It's like they photocopied, scanned it, and put it in the game.
Oh,
in her
wow.
hideout, I think all the things were in there. Yeah.
Oh, now I do need to replay it.
and then you can play the intel files of her doing the comic book and look at the comic book while she's reading the comic book to you.
Oh, that's so good.
It's just really unfortunate they turned it into a live service game because the campaign was so amazing.
Yeah. Like, I would have liked to see the missions that were live service. Let's just make those part of do something to flesh it out, to put it inside the story of the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
And then the creators of Suicide Squad didn't learn the lesson.
Oh, that's another one I'm playing.
Well, you heard the announcement, right? They're shutting it down?
They're shutting down the online servers, right?
Yeah, well, I guess they're converting it to single player, right?
Yeah.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, because the new
Which it
chapter
should have
just
been
came
in the
out.
first place.
For me, I thought the story was okay. I think the issue with that game, if I really were to take, like, at least for me, what my issue was with the game is it was too fast paced that when you did something cool in the game, you could not celebrate it because you were being attacked still.
Oh, yeah.
Like when you ran around with Captain Boomerang, you threw your boomerang, you zipped there, you did a no scope snipe. You were like, oh my god, that's amazing. At that point in time, you got sniped by 4 other things. Like you couldn't breathe during any of that combat.
I haven't made it through the story yet.
Yeah.
And
Story was all right. Story wasn't
yeah.
bad. I think the story was pretty good up until the part where they throw you into live service.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've reached
Well,
that
and the live service also has little bits, and I loved like the little bits of lore that you could find within the game. Same thing with Marvel Avengers. There was little bits of pieces of lore in the live service game that was just it was good. Like you could see Jessica Jones' place in the New York place, or you could Holly Ann Ember, another very obscure mutant. Which kind of sort of confirmed that mutants were in Marvel Avengers. Like
Yeah.
it was, they had set the seed for it because Holly Ann Ember was in it, and you actually go to her hometown in Utah. One of the missions was her hometown, where and then she also ends up being like Monica,
Yeah.
like I think ends up killing her for her powers in New York. But you find out, like, if you do a little background, you find out that Storm finds Holly, gives her the card to go to the mutants, the Mutant Institute, and then while she goes to New York, Monica takes her to the AIM facility, and she's never heard of again.
Oh.
So she never makes it to Xavier's Institute, but they like had planted that seed in there that maybe we save Holly and get her to the Institute, and then all of a sudden,
we can do X-Men.
X-Men. Yeah.
I mean, it really does feel like the development team and the production team were on two very different pages on what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
And it's too bad that it gets overshadowed by how bad the servers were, how buggy the raid was, how poor the networking, the connection, like if we wanted to play together, even just like regular missions, how bad that was. Because the story was great. They have one of the best Marvel stories.
Their writers
Original
were
Marvel
incredible.
stories. Yeah.
Yeah.
They did great.
Writers were so incredible. And they even had their own Earth. Like they had that whole sign off. Marvel was behind them. Oh,
Why do you
I have all the comics.
Why do you think that we don't see a lot more of the we're seeing more of the live service and not like the single player great story and not the
We're getting
money.
that with Captain America, right?
We're not sure how the Captain America game is going yet. I don't think we have any details. We got one trailer, which looked pretty cool, but I don't know if we know like the actual details of the game yet.
Live service is a Destiny did its thing, right? Destiny before COVID, but like live service, like everything that could happen live service, like live service was taken off. COVID happened. That was like the time to cash cow into, because everyone's at home playing, really grab people in. And that's why everybody tried to release it out. But also because everybody was working from home, hard to get a game released. So then the quality wasn't that great. But a lot of AAA games, like if you put out a good live service, if you invest in a good live service, and it can bring in some money, just like a gacha game.
Yeah.
Gacha games bring in tons of money. Trying to and now Americans were very against gacha games, and we're slowly acclimating into this whole pay to potentially win, pay a little bit to win side of things that we'll see where we are in about 5 years, because gacha games, like if you had taken, I always said if Hoyoverse ever got a hold of the Marvel IP, we would be in trouble.
I would be
We
so
would be
in trouble.
Seriously in trouble. Like make an open world Genshin where you could physically go to any one of those locations,
Oh.
right?
We need to stop talking
And
about
then
it. What if one
all
of
of a
them hears
sudden
it?
Jubilee's on the banner.
Ah!
Well, there goes Lim's 401k.
I mean, we're actually lucky that the guys from Marvel Rivals, the team behind that, or at least the marketers behind that, are being reasonable and being, at least for now, characters are free, maps are free. We're only charging you for cosmetics, which I'm fine with, or the battle pass, which also, like Helldivers, is infinite. You have as long as you want to finish the battle pass, so no FOMO.
Oh, really? I didn't
We
know
are
that.
so yes. So we are very lucky that they were that. Now, I'm not a PvP player, so it's not my jam, but I do like watching it. I enjoy watching people play Marvel Rivals, and I hope they don't switch over to you have to buy the battle pass if you want to get Cyclops when he's released, or whoever,
I
or
think
Jubilee.
they looked at Overwatch and realized how bad that went for Overwatch, that I don't think they're going to do that.
I agree.
That
I
really
agree.
failed on that.
It's terrible.
Bring back like if anybody got a hold of Marvel Heroes, right? Like bring
I
that
love that
back
game.
into no, I there is so much. if they made a gotcha game, I'm telling you, of Marvel or even DC, you'd have to make it a. I think you'd have. Marvel would do a whole lot better in the gotcha scene than I think DC. Not saying Marvel's better than DC. It's just easier to sell a happier world than a darker world.
You're triggering some memories here, though, because there are actually gotcha games for these on mobile, which I think is a
Yeah.
big thing. All three of us, we have mobile games, but on PC. Like Star Rail, I play it on PC. Yes, it's a mobile game. I play it on PC. That kind of thing.
Right.
Strike Force, Marvel Strike Force was like is a gotcha Marvel game, but it's not.
Exactly.
It's not quite there. It's not quite that game yet. Like it. Yeah. I think it's too mobile.
Also, I think it's not true gotcha. It's been a very, very long time since I played it or followed it at all, but like it's very easy to actually get the character because they get the character through events rather than loot boxes. The trick is you can't get like the highest power of the character without spending money, so that's how they go about it. Same as like Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, which is the same thing. Future Fight, I think, is also not technically gotcha boxes. That's also where, if you're playing Marvel Rise, that's where Luna came from. Was the future?
Yep.
Okay,
So-
that's good to know. I didn't know that.
But I don't think, even though I was the one to bring it up, I don't think we have a true gotcha game in those universes yet.
Right.
Huh.
There's
But we're
there's
close.
a lot of fandom. Yeah, the right company getting a hold of it without, like, I feel like it a lot of they have to go to a gotcha company that has a good team and like really get them like the important part about the gotcha game. And I think Hoyoverse is starting to see that with Genshin is you've got to still be able to continue to tell a good story and make people still love the characters that they're getting while also telling the new story to bring those other bring new characters in to get your money, but keep the story consistent and good. Like the second you dip out on the story for a cosmetic or something, like you lose people. You've got to be able to get that the content's got to like match to the money that you're trying to bring in.
Now, interestingly enough, with Hoyoverse, and without going too far into a rabbit hole, we should probably not on this podcast, but Zenless Zone Zero, they've also started branching out into the well, you might want to pull this character not because they're the most powerful, but because you really like the way they look. And I know that's always an aspect of Hoyoverse. We all know characters. We're like, oh, this that's not a great character, but the visual style appeals. So what I'm getting at with Zenless Zone Zero is the costumes, the outfits are getting a little bit smaller each time, and they're going for a slightly different demographic. There was also a game that came out this week. I might be misremembering the name, but I think it's called Girls Frontline. The entire point of that is collecting waifus in very skimpy outfits. I know there's other ones out there. I'm not going to advertise for them. Also, I don't remember the names. But that is another aspect of this as well. And with Zenless Zone Zero, we're seeing if Hoyo is going to continue with that trend and maybe bring it into the others as well. I'm hoping they're not. I know there's a whole contingent of the internet that is, but I'm hoping not.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one question I asked somebody about that was streaming Infinity Nikki today, and they had a bunch of people in their chat, and I was asking, do they think that this is going to end up being a jiggle physics game? Because I'm trying to stay away from that content, and they were like, this game is more geared to that is very geared toward a younger audience. Because of you can see how they are doing with their outfits and with their with the tutorial, and like it's step by step, like I've never played a video game before type tutorial, and they really believed that you're less likely to see that in Infinity Nikki.
Yeah,
I would hope so. Given that target audience, as you mentioned,
Yeah.
man, if they started going in that direction, that'd be really worrying.
Yeah.
All right. So, what about you, Suraph? What games are you looking forward, or is on your docket to get played?
Let's see. I've got a list that goes way back and also way forward. So I'm just going to focus on stuff coming out like next year or came out earlier this year. The ones I'll highlight, I have always been a fan of the Assassin's Creed. Both I prefer the older ones, like the Assassin's Creed 2 trilogy, Assassin's Creed 4, that style of play, the Arkham series as well. But I do still like the new ones. I am a bit of a fan of Japan, so I'm looking forward to Shadows because that's set in Japan. That'll be fun. And on the same note, the superior Assassin's Creed Japan game, Ghosts of Yotei, looks. I mean, Ghost of Tsushima was fantastic. I would still call Ghost of Tsushima the best Assassin's Creed game we've had so far, even though it's not technically an Assassin's Creed game. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm a little suspicious of their claim it'll come out next year, but for the moment we'll stick with that. And then a couple from this year. We mentioned Metaphor earlier. I want to try that out. I want to try Dragon Age: The Veilguard because I did enjoy the Dragon Age games. And sticking with the Japanese thing, why not? Let's go with full on Japanese. I want to finally get around to playing the Yakuza series. I've never played any of the Yakuza games.
That's fair.
I have
So
quite a few of the Yakuza games, and I haven't touched
I
them.
actually have several, I think, from a Humble Bundle or something like that.
Yeah.
I figure I'll just start with 0. I know it's not the first one chronologically, but I'm just go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the current spin-offs. And I have to admit, the one that got me interested in the first place was the one coming next year. I think it's called Like a Dragon. I forget what the subtitle is, but you're a pirate. You're a Yakuza pirate in the modern age. It looks absurd. It looks fun.
It looks like you're an old-timey pirate in the modern age.
Yes, like you are on an old school broadside galleon, but in like 2024 Tokyo. So I don't know.
Wow.
I'm looking forward to it. It looks stupid and it looks
That
fun.
sounds awesome. Yeah.
Right. So, but I want to try out the other Yakuza games too. So let me throw that back at you, Fate. What do you got?
I think I've announced all of them in the quarters because like again, Once Human,
Right.
Marvel 9243, Sid Meier's 7, Monster Hunter Wilds. That's another one of those games that's hard for me to stream and pay attention and focus.
I'm hitting on that and that. I've really started to pay attention to what games I'm streaming so that I can pay attention.
Yep.
I'm finding that I'm enjoying streaming more when I can catch the conversations, when I can catch who typed in Camellia has gifted a sub to Camellia.
Man, that anonymous is crazy.
I really am enjoying that, and so we might see after I finish this Guild Wars story. I don't know if I'm going to continue to do Guild Wars, but I think for an action-y game, I pay attention to chat decent during Guild Wars. I don't know. You guys have been in when I play Guild Wars.
Yeah, a few times, just a few.
Yeah.
Hell, I've played Guild Wars with you.
This is true. How do you think that Guild Wars is too distractible?
No,
It depends.
No, I think you do a pretty good job on Guild Wars.
You do. If you're doing group content, I think you kind of lose the focus on chat because you also have to focus on your team and making sure you're not like the weak link on that. But if you're doing single player content, I think you're fine.
Okay. All right. Good to know. Good to know.
Lim, I just sent you something in your DMs. I just wanted to let you know.
When is my Louis coming? What is that?
2 days.
Okay, good.
And you have 2 different banners to choose from.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you have him, and then you have Yinlin.
Oh, I have both of them.
Well, we got him free.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So I guess you look at which S1 you might want, just in case you get it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think Yinlin's probably better for the account because Yinlin's a support, and you probably have enough main DPS.
I
at this
1000%
point.
have more than enough main DPS. Absolutely. Yeah. Oh wow, you guys.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, another tangent. Sorry, that just came across in the middle of this podcast. Yeah, you're welcome.
It's okay. It's okay because that's what we
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
But it is getting a little bit past the record time that I wanted to keep.
Yep.
And my
Yep.
nose happens to keep getting stuffier and stuffier. I don't know if you can tell. But it's getting
Bring
No,
illnesses
not until you
with
pointed
me.
it out.
So
Appreciate you having me on, Lim.
Yeah,
Again, I
hey,
appreciate it.
Fate, I love having you
It's
on. Remind everybody where they can find you.
Twitch.tv/FateWalker, and then the occasional TikTok. If I ever, I mean, even Twitch made the easy thing with clips that you could just throw clips onto a TikTok. Twitch.tv/FateWalker.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, they made it easy, but they didn't make it easy to find it on TikTok. I have stuff from 2023 that I just found.
That's fair. I've had people come in, like the 3 videos I put on TikTok, I've already had engagement come in from them, and I just need to do more.
Yeah.
I just need to take 2 hours every week, find a time, 2 hours every week, look through my clips, throw them out on TikTok.
Yes,
I need to do it.
absolutely.
Suraph, where can we find you?
You can't.
Unless you pay, unless you get him on on the banner, the next banner. Chat.
Exactly. I will be the Eeyore 6-star SSR banner. No,
Yeah.
seriously, I don't have any social media at all, unless you count LinkedIn, which is very important to me at the moment because I am job hunting. I do have a Twitch account. It's Suraph, twitch.tv/Suraph. I stream twice a year, maybe on a good year. And other than that, you can find me on BG's Discord, the Gametographers. Is it still called the
It is still called the
Gametographers, or did you change the name?
Gametographers.
Okay,
No.
the Gametographers. I do lurk on there. I check out people's pictures when they post them. Occasionally, I join in the chat. I've been there long enough. I think I am still the top chat contributor there, even though I have said like 5 words in the last 5 years on there. This is not a joke, by the way. This is actually true.
He has been there forever, and that's how he does it. He does a few words a year, and it still counts for some reason. Him being the top one, I don't understand it.
This is tortoise in the hair, slow, consistent, 2 streams per year, and I'm definitely gonna make it one of these days.
I think he's up for partner next year.
Yeah, totally. I'm pretty sure I'm taking over for Ninja or whoever, one of the pretty soon. It's happening.
Ninja.
Anyway, yes, that is in fact true. I know I came across as very blasé about that, but I don't have social media. I'm on the Discord. If you're on BG's Discord, you can say hi over there.
You can find me at twitch.tv/badgamerelite.
That's, you know what? That's actually probably true because I have occasionally guested on Bad Gamers streams. So yeah, that's the most likely spot you will find me outside of Discord.
There you go. Oh man! And as always, guys, you can find me at Bad Gamer Elite. That's all one word. Well, it's 3 words to smush together anyway. But Bad Gamer Elite, just about everywhere. God darn it, you guys! I love this so much. I love talking to you guys. I love just the random crap that we talk about. I dig it.
Yeah. And if you guys want to hear us talk about something else, drop into a BGE's Twitch stream and let him know, and maybe that's the next thing we talk about on the next podcast.
Exactly. Or comment. Or
I'm not, you know, I'm gonna.
I don't know.
I'm going to jump the line right here. I'm going to say my suggestion, not necessarily for the next podcast, but at some point, BG, plus whoever wants to. Fade sounds like he knows a lot about comics as well. I would love to do a comic podcast. No, you know enough. You know enough.
Look.
Pictures, they're pretty.
Yeah, hey, good enough. But that's me. I would love to do a comics podcast with you sometime, BG, plus whoever else you think would be up for that.
Oh yeah, I think we can do that. You know, even if it's what comics have you read? You know, what do you know? What?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Is Panda a comic book guy?
I don't think so. We have a lot of comic book shops around us, but I don't
Yeah.
think we're. Yeah.
I wonder.
I can.
I wonder if we could do a comic book quiz with you and Panda.
Oh, that'd be kind of fun, actually.
And it would win. I've read 6 comic books.
But
I've
I
only
think,
ever read 6
but
comic
I think
books.
you still know a lot of comic book culture, even if you
Well-
haven't read that.
And the 6 comic books are the 6 comic books from Marvel Avengers game.
Mhm.
That's
So-
it.
So let me modify the statement then. Instead of necessarily strictly comic books, we could talk about comics related media. So we could talk about the MCU, the DCEU,
Okay, that's fair.
Marvel's Avengers, Suicide Squad, the Arkham games, Gotham Knights, so on, so on, so on. We could do this all day.
Yeah. Okay.
Ah, I see what you did there. Okay.
These colors never run.
I don't know. They ran a lot in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Just saying.
Well, everybody, thanks for hanging out. We will see you on the flip side. And as they always say, what were we talking about?